Dataiku is the platform for everyday AI, systemizing the use of data for exceptional business results. If this is your first introduction to Dataiku, we recommend you first watch the short overview demo to gain an understanding of key concepts and the full breadth of the platform, which is suitable for both coders and non-coders. You can visit dataiku.com/learn to see that demo. If you're a code-first data practitioner, Dataiku helps you efficiently build high-quality data pipelines and models in a number of ways. First, by abstracting away and simplifying layers of complexity related to connecting to data and configuring compute resources. Second, the platform allows you to work with your favorite programming languages, packages, and IDEs without sacrificing collaboration with other team members who may or may not be using the same set of tools. And finally, easy reuse and sharing of code, datasets, and other assets helps teams reduce inefficiencies and inconsistent data handling, while simultaneously empowering less technical users to go farther on their own. This is the Dataiku homepage, where we can see our team's collection of projects, wikis, applications, and other objects. Imagine you're a data scientist working in airport operations, and the team was tasked with building a business application to predict which upcoming flights are likely to be delayed. Let's open the project and see what working in Dataiku might be like if you're a coder. This is the project's flow, a visual representation and documentation of all the steps the data undergoes from start to finish, regardless of whether it was manipulated with the visual tools or through code. When you got involved, analysts had already connected to historical data and done some initial preparation, but they needed help with enriching it with third-party sources, including real-time flight tracker feeds, and developing the machine learning model. Dataiku is flexible and highly extensible for coders, as you can create code recipes in the language of your choice, including Python, R, SQL, and more. The first thing you might do is see if anyone in the organization has already built scripts that you can start from to save time. We could start by searching in the built-in Dataiku catalog and browsing matches to see if there's something suitable for reuse. For instance, here's an interesting-looking streaming Python recipe that continuously brings in real-time flight tracker information. Parts of that code will definitely come in handy for our project, so let's star it as a favorite for quick reference later. Or, if you already have Jupyter notebooks that have been developed outside of Dataiku, you can upload those notebooks manually. Or, connect to a remote Git repository and then use the typical branching, push, and pull actions to keep your code in Dataiku synced with that remote repository. When we develop code directly in Dataiku, we can use the built-in code editor or the embedded Jupyter Notebook interface, or even code in an external IDE, such as PyCharm, Sublime Text, or RStudio. For example, let's review this same recipe in a local VS Code environment where we've already installed the Dataiku extension and connected to the shared Dataiku server. You can work on this code locally, but use the Dataiku runtime engines and synchronize your changes with the Dataiku interface so that your teammates can see the code and any updates you've made. While we're on the subject of versioning, note that each saved change that you make to your project is automatically recorded in an internal Git-based version control system, giving project owners traceability and the ability to revert changes. Project libraries are a great way that teams can centralize and share code both within and across projects. Import from Git, or build your own functions, classes, or modules, as we did in this project. This custom tail identifier function takes an airplane tail number as an input and then retrieves the associated aircraft info and a thumbnail photo of the plane from flightaware.com. We can now use this function in code inside Dataiku the same way you'd use any public libraries modules. These handy code samples also make it really simple to share and reuse code blocks. While Dataiku comes preloaded with starter code for many common tasks, you can easily add your own code snippets for you and your team to use. In addition to project libraries for sharing code, it's also common to create custom project variables, which can then be referenced in many Dataiku objects, such as code notebooks, recipes, automation scenarios, and Dataiku applications and web apps. For example, we've created a variable to capture the airport we're interested in. Now, when I'm working elsewhere in the project, rather than hard-coding specific airport codes in multiple places in our pipeline, I can simply insert a variable reference, which makes the code much more robust and easier to maintain and troubleshoot if the airport of interest changes. Going back to our Python recipe, you may have noticed a line at the top which imports the Dataiku package. When you work with code inside Dataiku's user interface, this package is imported automatically. But there are also public REST APIs which can be accessed from outside Dataiku, so that data engineers, application developers, and operations specialists can execute and automate many tasks purely programmatically, without having to go through the user interface. At the beginning of this demo, I mentioned we'd look at ways sharing code and data assets not only makes things more efficient, but also empowers other data practitioners. To promote your code and pipelines to an even broader audience that includes non-coders, use the application designer, or convert your work into a plugin. These features allow you to wrapper your code or subflows with a point-and-click user interface that's simple for analysts to use, even if what's going on behind the scenes is quite complex. This is a powerful way that you can seamlessly extend the scope of Dataiku with custom components, such as new visual recipes, connections to data sources, macros, chart types, and much more. Data scientists will love how simple it is to execute their code in a containerized, distributed way using Spark or Kubernetes clusters. All you have to do is select the runtime environment you want, and Dataiku takes care of spinning up the containers and shutting them down when the job is done. And you can build and use custom code environments containing the packages you need, giving you the freedom to do the work your way, while also making it easier for operations teams to reproduce results in production systems. These code environments can be used not just for recipes and notebooks, but also when developing models. Let's take a quick look at what a code environment for a deep learning model might look like. You can see we have pre-built sets of packages you can choose from, or feel free to add other packages in this space below to tailor the environment for your needs. Finally, let's touch on model development. Dataiku includes built-in algorithms from state-of-the-art machine learning libraries, such as scikit-learn, MLlib, and XGBoost, or utilize TensorFlow and Keras for deep learning. You can also code your own custom models or feature preprocessing. For example, if you want to write your own Python estimator, you can add it right within the Algorithms tab. You can then take advantage of all the benefits Dataiku's Visual ML offers, such as automatic experiment tracking and diagnostics, interpretability and performance metrics, auto-documentation, and ease of version monitoring in production. In other words, it behaves the same as a built-in algorithm. Alternatively, you may choose to build your model inside a code recipe in your flow and store the model object as a pickle file in a managed folder. With just a couple clicks, you can expose this model as a RESTful API service to incorporate its outputs into other data pipelines, visualizations, or applications. We've reached the end of this quick tour. To learn more, get in touch with us on our website. Or try Dataiku DSS for yourself with a free 2-week hosted trial. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching.